Welcome to the Printed by Mama podcast with me, your host, Kirsty Field, supporting small business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives and crafters, encouraging you guys at home to just keep crafting and create a life you love without sacrificing yourself or your family. Each week I'll be bringing you inspiration, support and guidance on how to turn that hobby or side hustle into your dream job. And I'll be joined by some amazing guests who are already living their dreams. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Welcome friends, it's your host as always here, Kirsty Field, wife, mama, small business owner, mentor and crazy crafty lady. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's podcast. It is a pleasure to have you here and we are back for one of our Sunday socials. This is where we get to speak to one of the fabulous PBM community members who's going to share their experience and they're going to tell their story to us about how they got to where they are and how we can get there too, more importantly. So I am delighted to welcome today's guest. She has a fantastic job that she's going to tell us all about. I'm going to be honest, it's a bit of a mystery to me, but I am excited to learn more about it and how she does what she does, because she is fabulous, I know that much. Please welcome Karolina, and she is an independent protection advisor. Fascinating. Hello.
Hello, Kirsty. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here. What I can say, can I start talking about...
Go for it. She's on a roll already. What is an independent protection advisor? What is it that you do? Tell us. I am intrigued.
Well, so as a protection advisor, I do help people and guide them with their protection needs, and I then help them in achieving their protection objectives. So obviously there are life situations that people do struggle in. They obviously have some mental health issues and they cannot get basically an insurance. They don't know from where it starts. They want to protect their family, their loved ones, and this is where they turn to me. Obviously they can do it online, they can do whatever they want. However, it's always to have somebody next to you that can support you through the process. They can understand your thoughts, your needs, and they can support you whenever it is going to come to time to do whatever with this insurance, to change it, to claim it, which I always pray to God never happens.
Yeah, don't we all?
Exactly. And over the time, I'm not working a long time. To be honest, it's now around 6 months. It was a very long journey to get here because there's a lot of tests, a lot of exams. However, I met so many lovely people that I became friends with, and I go visit them for coffee. I find out how they are, and I've never ever regretted choosing this path. I have a degree in psychology, so that may be happening as well because I finished psychology. On the top of that, I work in hospitality since I could work, because I was always independent little girl. I wanted to go there and work.
Girl, we love it.
And this is when I say to people, go there and be yourself. But I started in hospitality. I worked there throughout my studies. So I just want to say to every single lady, or every single person that's listening to us today, that you can work 48 hours and you can study. You just need to push yourself and you're going to get there, because I finished my psychology being a system manager, and I was working 48 hours a week. Plus I managed very well with my studies. So, but I would also say that maybe I'm just going off the topic a little bit, but the support of people, it's just the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I learned throughout this journey, even now as a protection advisor, I go across a lot of situations that I need to deal with. You need to talk with people about death, which is not pleasant.
No.
You come home and you wanna just see a person that's there waiting for you. So if you have somebody, it can be your sister, mother, whoever, a mentor, just to push you, and this is why I want to the message, to everybody, just to not be scared to cut on some toxic leads as well, because this is what it's how to say that in English.
You're doing well.
Yes, that's not my first language. So as well, I want to say to every single person who's not British as well, and I want to come out there,
Mm.
just go for it. Don't be scared. So
Yes, girl.
like I would say, it was such a journey. Throughout the last few months, I didn't have none time for myself. Especially, I wanted to really push myself to be the best I can be in this job.
Hmm.
So one moment, I found myself juggling between two jobs. I had 48-hour week shift, and I have the other job that I need to spend another 3 days. So I found myself in a loop. In
Yeah.
one month, it was 1 month, no off.
No.
But you want to get there. You want to
Yes.
get there, and I do believe every one of us can get there. You
Yeah.
just need to push yourself and somebody to encourage you. So that's my message.
Well, do you know what? I feel like I could just sit back and just let you, because
You know,
your energy and your positivity is
I'm always.
it's infectious. I can, this is the first time I've ever spoken to you, isn't it? We've never talked before. We've had a couple of messages back and forwards whilst we've been booking, but this is you're such a positive spirit, and that comes from you so much. And you've touched on so many of the things that PBM stands for: the community, the positivity, the just giving it a try, and the hustle, and the just getting down to it. And there will be times where you have no time off, but you've just got to push through. If it's what you want to do, you've got to throw everything at it. And there's a few things that I want to touch on that you brought up. So first and foremost, you've mentioned that you did your psychology degree. Good for you.
Yeah.
I did psychology at A level, and it was bloody hard, and I chose not to move on with it. I wish that I had, because I think it's such an amazing skill to find out how these amazing organs in our body work, and all the things that they do. I wish I'd have stuck with it. But you've obviously now done your qualifications and exams in something completely different. How did you motivate yourself to do that now later in life? I mean, I'm doing qualifications now myself. I am doing life coaching qualifications, and I'm nearly 40, and you're a lot younger than me, obviously. But how did you find that going back to studying later in life? Because I know there's a lot of people who thought maybe they should look at doing extra qualifications or courses or studying and going back to that in later life. How did you find that?
Can I be honest with you? I found this job by coincidence. Like most of the
Hmm.
things happen in my life because of coincidence. I started my psychology degree.
Hmm.
Uh, my psychology, like you said, A levels as well. It was my journey from GCSEs when I came to this country by coincidence, because I went with one of the Polish girls to help me across because my English wasn't good, and that psychology came across, and this is how I stayed with it.
Hmm.
Later on, this job, how I pushed myself, it was like I touched already on the introduction. It was the person behind me who was pushing me. When I had my exams and I was working in restaurant and hospitality, when I had one day off with my exam set from 10 o'clock till another day 10 o'clock, I have like 24 hours period. I have
Wow.
like 3 essays to do. My partner, I call him my husband because he's like my husband, he was bringing me food and tea. He was just putting
Oh.
through his head, he went, you need something. This is why if we have this person just behind our back, it's like, look, I love to call him my guardian angel.
Oh.
Even I met him by coincidence as well. That shouldn't happen. Even this job came as a coincidence. So if you're waiting for something, it will come. And
Hmm.
my father once told me that I'm a little bit too ambitious, and I do believe I am. I always try to be very positive, like you touched on it. I try to give that to everybody. I believe karma is coming back.
Yep.
If you give in all of that, it's gonna come back. And so many times I had enough, studying and that. But I sat down. I was like, no, no, no. I need to do it. I need to prove it. I need to do it. And it's lovely to hear. I have a little sister. She's just 4 years younger than me, so she's now 20 years old. And she always says to me, I'm an example to her, and
Yep.
it's my heart is just exploded, because it's nice to be an example to somebody. I don't have kids, so the time will come, but at least for my sister who I love to death, you can be an inspiration to somebody. If you're gonna sit down, study, do these qualifications. I was pushing through them as well because I was, like I mentioned, working a lot. So whenever I was off, I was studying for this job, which wasn't easy because
Hmm.
they checking me constantly. There was training, and I found passion in it. So if you're gonna find something that you enjoy, don't be scared to go and try it. Like you said, you're doing life coaching. This is amazing. And if you feel this is something that talks to you and it's like deep in you, there is a
Hmm.
root for it. Don't be scared, because I think what is pausing us of doing what we love is the scary bit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
100%.
100%, 100%. And you do more than inspire your sister. I tell you, you're going to be
Really,
inspiring a whole lot of people
I
with this
hope so.
podcast because you, like I say, you are so positive, and I think that with everything that's going on in the country right now,
Yeah,
with the crises, with energy, and with cost of living, and we've had the pandemic and everything. You've gone through it too, of course.
yeah.
It's so hard sometimes to be positive, isn't it? And especially when you are trying to change your life and make positive changes, when the world is on your shoulders because everything is going on, it's hard to get yourself back to that. How do you do it? How do you keep that positivity flowing when things are hard?
You know what? I don't remember from where I read it, or maybe I heard it somewhere. I think it's somewhere from Polish culture, music, or it was one of the books. To find, where was it? I don't really remember. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I read it somewhere, and it's like still going through my mind. It's like, why would you worry about something for the whole day? Choose 1 hour,
Hmm.
focus on this 1 hour, and worry then, cry then, but later move on. You know. And once as well, I read, going to the succeed, it's not going to be right on the bus.
Yeah,
You need to go for it. Even if it's going to take you to walk there, go on the bicycle, take your own car. You're not going to get there on the bus. If
yeah.
you're not going to put hard work, and obviously I have my moments, because you asked about my positivity. I do have my moments where I'm down. I'm a human being.
Of
I
course.
I do struggle maybe with this job. I'm gonna maybe stick to this job a little bit more. It's, you need to constantly talk to people, you need to go out there, and now it was blocking me so badly. I remember starting to make phone calls to just book some appointments, which they weren't cold calls, because I got those reference from my previous people that I worked with.
Hmm.
So they were expecting me. I was so scared to even come out to people. I came back home and I started crying, and my partner was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just trust myself so badly." And from that moment, like something exploded, and I sat down. I have now beautiful office. I sat down. I was like, "No, Karolina, you need to do it. Like, it is your money, your time. You focused, you studied. Why are you doing that to yourself?"
Hmm.
And you can trust yourself, because you know what you're thinking. But like I said, it's hard to be all the time positive, because usually I hear that positive people are the most upset people.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. I'm very specific, I would say, because I'm very introvert, I'm very extrovert in the same time. So I'm like on the spectrum, you don't know,
Yeah.
because sometimes I don't like to be around people. Sometimes I'm like, I would love to be with people, and I would like to inspire everybody to bring this positivity. There's so many sadness in this world, so many things that we can get upset about, but like, we cannot do much about this. So like I said, choose 1 hour of your day, worry then, cry then, and move on and do your thing.
Do you know, we were talking about, I've done a podcast about time blocking because that's how I work. I think it's a great way of working. If you've got a load of stuff to do, get it all done in batches, move on, get on to the next thing. Do you know, I am going to be blocking in some time for myself to have stress and upset. That never even crossed my mind. I mean, I struggle massively with being positive. I come across very positive when I do these podcasts and things like that, but that is not me on a daily basis. I really have to battle. I really have to fight to bring that into my life and to give that out. And being able to put in time where potentially I can just go, do you know what? This is my time to. I am a bit upset. I am a bit stressed, and and I know I've got time to put that aside to do that. Then, mind blown, girl. That is a fantastic technique.
You are a human being, and you are allowed to have all of those emotions.
Hmm.
And you are completely allowed to be upset. You are allowed to scream if you need to. You're allowed to shout. And we cannot keep anything. And I learned that as well, because I, in my previous relationship, I used to keep everything in myself. This is why we split as well.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have a little thing, you know, I don't like something, I don't know, something happens, and I'm like, I'm going over and over that with my partner, and he listened to me, and I'm like, he's listening, and I feel much better. He's like my girl best friend, you know. But
Yeah.
if you, yeah, like, many people forget that this is why I had before, and I realized I'm wasting so much time on worrying. That was even 3-4 weeks ago, when, because I like I said, this full time, I'm doing it, this job now full time. Before, I was working hospitality. I did have stable salary. I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about money. Now it's, you know, it's different, because it's how much I'm working, the much I'm getting. So obviously there was this financial feeling that, oh my god, what's going to happen next week, if I'm going to make some money, if I'm
Yeah.
going to be good enough, if
Yeah.
I'm not going to have million of cancelled appointments, if people going to like me. However, I was worrying, I think 2 or 3 days like this. I didn't do nothing with my schedule, and I sat down once for a coffee in my terrace, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you wasted 3 days, and those 3 days you could make so much money, you could call so many people, you could get in touch with, so you can get out there, and you were just miserable. Why are you
Yeah.
doing this? So I somewhere came across this quote, this advice of just putting everything aside for this 1 hour, and you're allowing yourself to, okay, you're thinking, you know, about this. And this is why I think everybody should have this technique. Give
Yeah.
yourself 3 to 4. I'm worrying. Oh my god, what I'm gonna do now? But later, you move on, and let's see. And you can call me if you want to every day. I can make you happy. I can
You
make you
have
happy.
no idea how much I will be taking you up on that, and I'm sure a lot of the other people in the community would be, because
Buddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I am definitely going to be doing that moving forward. I'm going to schedule myself a little pity party for me to have some time to feel sorry for myself, and then it's shake yourself off, dust yourself off, get on with it, Kirsty. I love it. I love it. Let's go back to your job a little bit, because obviously
We.
you are independent. You chase your own leads, you make those calls, you've got to put in the work, the effort to get those clients and things. And that is exactly like you said, coming back to the financial side of things, that is difficult when you know that you haven't got X amount of money coming in on a regular basis and things. That is a struggle, isn't it? That is a battle, but you have to keep plodding on and making the calls and working the grind, because at the end of the day, it's on you. It comes down to you, doesn't it? Because if you don't do the work, nobody else is going to do it for you. And I always try and remind people that your dream life, what you want, it comes from you. Nobody else is going to do it for you, right?
Yes. Yes. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah. On that one, if you're not gonna put work there, nobody will. Like, nobody will do. Everybody doing something else. Like, this side of the job, yeah, I'm chasing it. I have always, I was kept always in that notebook with the numbers, you know, everybody I met that could possibly help me,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never came across that I was really pushy. I don't like to be pushy.
No.
I don't like to call people, listen, oh, let me schedule your appointment with me because of blah 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 blah. No, I don't want to do that. I want to help people. I do that from the passion. I realized I realized that after my training and everything that I've done, I've got my license. It's not about money anymore. Obviously, money is a nice side to this job. However, the happiness of the people that you help, it's just unbelievable. And these people still coming back to me. Like I said on the beginning, I go for them for coffee, not to do business with them. I go because I truly like them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I call them on daily basis. I had a lovely, if I can give you an example, lovely Polish lady, 65 years old. I met her just by she was recommended from the other lady that I helped, and I went there yesterday to help her with a sofa, and my husband to take it out. And I'm not joking. She's making me sandwiches. I feel like she's my grandma, because I'm treating.
Oh.
Maybe there should be some balance with the work and stuff and clients. However, like, I wouldn't have a heart to leave her there if she's asking me for help and she doesn't have anybody else to ask her. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to hurt me if I'm anyway in London. I'm going to do some other appointment. Why not to stop by a coffee and see how these people are? Because this is what they need. They need this human interaction
Yeah.
with you, because what's the point of me going there, showing my laptop and being like, no, I want to this, and this? No, it's not like this. I want to know everything about you. If I need to, I'll be your psychologist.
Mm.
But this is what is the beauty of this job, the possibility of helping people. And this is why I went on this path, and I'm very happy on it, and before as well, I was working in a restaurant. I was a GM before. And I was always the last one to eat. I always made everybody else to eat. And it came 10 o'clock night time, no break for me, 12 hours working shifts from 10 to 10. I
Been
just
there,
sat down
been
and
there.
ate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always like this. I put so much, and sometimes I felt people using me so badly, but
Yeah.
I just cannot. My grandma said that once, and I still say that to everybody. If you have a very soft heart, remember, you need to have a very, very tough bum because
Oh
people.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Girl, love it.
Oh, exactly.
Love it. Love it. And you can tell so much by the way you talk about what you do, how much you care about it and how much it means to you. I try and encourage the PBM community to remember that money is a byproduct. Yes, you need a certain amount of money to survive, to live. That needs to be an amount of money, but it should not be the be all and end all that your whole life revolves around. You should be striving for happiness, contentment. You should be so happy to get up in the morning and do what you love. That should come above and beyond any amount of money that you could get. Having money will give you options. That's all it will do. It will not make you happy. It will give you options in life, but that is all it will give you. And I'm not. I say again to the community, I'm doing this full time now and have been for several months. I have not made a penny off of this so far. I spent my last paycheck on this microphone that I am doing these podcasts on, because I 100% believe in the fact that building a community together that supports each other in driving your dreams, building your ambitions, and just getting yourselves out there and talking to other people is so important, that I have put everything into it. And to see people like you doing what you're doing and being part of the community, and know that you are going to be there to talk to our other members, and that they can talk to you and you can talk to them, and just being so passionate about what you do. The passion has to be there, and it so clearly is with you. It's so lovely to see. It just comes
Trust,
across in waves. I
trust
wish
me.
people could feel what I feel right now.
But
It's
trust me,
amazing.
when I saw your post about, looking for, women in business, people who like women who's trying to get there, and I said I need to find much more about this. And trust me, when I said I'm very much interested and I can go for it, you don't even know how excited I was,
Oh,
because
bless you.
it was just so nice, because I would never ever do that. If
No.
you would meet me 3 years ago, I'll be like, oh no, I would probably cry. I was like this, I struggled as a teenager, a person who never had friends, to be honest. I have two friends in high school, I came very late to school because I came from different country.
Hmm.
The language was a barrier as well for me on that point. And later when I went to work, this is what I'm saying, like hospitality people, if you're out there, like I respect you. I've
Hmm.
been there, and I
Been there.
respect every single one of those people, because I was there. And this job, I would never ever regret it as well, because it taught me so much about myself, how
Hmm.
patient I can be as well. So I think there is a journey that we all need to go through, and we will find this destination point. So I would say to every single beautiful lady who's listening to us today, don't be scared. Just go for it.
Don't be
If
scared.
if you need this positivity, I can be on the podcast every single week. I'll say exactly the same thing. Every
Well, this
single
this is going to be the good thing about the podcast, because obviously it will be available on YouTube, and once it's uploaded, it's there. So if people need to listen and re-listen and have Karolina in their ear rolls every day, then that is going to be fine by me. I ain't going to stop you, and I would certainly encourage it. Absolutely so. Your skills, your skill set, having had that psychology degree that you've got, and then obviously you went back and you did more training for the position that you're in right now. We talk a lot here about going back through your past and finding skills that maybe you've stopped using, or that you potentially didn't finish, or that you got the skill, you did the job. You talked about your time in hospitality and using those. I think it's fair to say, isn't it, that you've drawn from all of your experiences in all of your previous qualifications and jobs and things like that, and you bring all of that to the job role that you're in right now, right? You dip into all those different skills, and then you've culminated it all together into this dream job that you're living right now. And that's what we try and teach here, that you may have had a skill that you used when you were a teenager and you've never thought of it again since. But you need to go back and revisit that, because everybody is so much more skilled than they think they are, because people think about the things that they did most recently. They look at their last job that they had. What about the things that you did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were a teenager? You should be looking at all of those skills, because they're all valuable, right?
Yes, of course. Every single skill that we learn throughout our life, that even we come from a childhood, like from psychology. I don't want to talk again about psychology, but childhood as well have somehow a big, very big, I would say, impact on who we are as people as well. And whatever our parents taught us, whatever we taught by ourselves, is 100% every, like the thing we learned, like I learned 10 years ago, I'm still using now. So like Kirsty said, it's very important to not forget about what we've done, and there is no shame, and even to be like, I would never be ashamed of doing this type of job. And many people maybe or forgetting, and they've been maybe are scared to mention that oh, I've done this job and I learned this. Well, be proud of it, because you learn something throughout the process. So like, this is every single skill that we learn throughout. And I'm just 23, and I believe in another 20 years I will learn much more. And I'm already, I think, I wouldn't say, I don't want to sound here like I think I'm very mature, and I always was. I was the older sibling, and I learned a lot since I was taking care of my sister when she was younger and stuff. So it's not just the job-based skills. I would say everything what we take from home or family life, friends, whatever, everybody who we met or throughout our life taught us something.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say another quote, but I go for them because this is what is making me going. One of my managers who trained me when I was still a kid, I was 16. She told me to be friends with people who can teach you something. So I try always to find people and be in touch with people who can bring something to my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back again to what I said on the beginning. Don't be afraid to cut on the toxic people, because
Yeah.
you're not going to get nowhere if you don't have this mentor, this person who's pushing you from your back. It's hard sometimes.
It is.
It's
It
so
is. It's really hard.
100%
It's really
skills,
hard.
100% skills from every single area of our lives. I'm
Yeah.
on this page with you, Kirsty.
Fantastic. No, it's brilliant to hear. And like I say, you've got such a wide skill set. I did my time in hospitality. I was a wedding planner for nearly 10 years. So I worked up from being hospitality hostess, and even last year took on a position as a general manager at a wedding venue. So I was, right up there in the throes of things. And I agree completely. There are skills that I learned from that particular job, even though that I'm not doing it now, that I will be drawing on and bringing into what I'm doing right now. So I want you to think of, this place that you're going to, this dream job, this end goal that you've all got at home for your own small business or your hobby or your massive sized business, whatever your dream is. You need to be able to go through your past and you need to be able to cherry pick all these little bits and pieces that you learned, and you're going to put them all together in one big pot, and that is what you're going to be using. And everybody, I guarantee you right now, is way more skilled, way more talented than they actually give themselves credit for. And that sucks. You should be screaming from the rooftops of all those different things that you've done in your past, because exactly like Karolina said, that's brought you to who you are today and what you're going to do moving forward. I'm going to unfortunately start wrapping it up. I could talk to you for hours and hours, girl, because like I say, you've put me in such a good mood for the Friday night, for a bank holiday weekend that we're moving on to here in the UK. She's a breath of fresh air. And like I say, the positivity just radiates from this woman. She is phenomenal, and I am so pleased that I managed to get in contact with you. I'm so glad that we found each other. We were clearly meant to. I very much believe in that we were meant to find each other, and I'm looking forward to a very long-standing friendship with you. Absolutely so. And, you know, I want to tell people that, you know, they can find you on Facebook, they can find you on LinkedIn. I know you're going to be part of the PBM community, so I'm sure that if anybody wants to speak to you, you would be happy to chat. I know you're happy to chat to me, so I'm sure you'd be happy to chat to other people. And exactly like you say, you're going to bounce off them going to bounce off you, and we're all going to give back to each other, and that is what the community is about. So make sure you look her up, go and find Karolina. She is a one in a million, truly. And whilst you're obviously on your socials and looking for her, make sure you go and look for the PBM page. Make sure you're liking that for all the up-to-date information, and of course that you are on the community page, because that's where you will find me, that's where you'll find Karolina, and all of our other guests that are featured on the podcast are going to be on there. So make sure you go say hi to your favourites and get in contact and be part of this fabulousness that is PBM. Karolina, thank you so much again. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. It made me really happy to be here, and I'm for sure I'm going to run and like the page. I'm going to be there all the time.
Good stuff.
And I really hope that all today talk made somebody feel better. That's the most important thing, because I really want to make sure people are happy.
Good.
I've never been selfish, and you know, like, it's all about people, and this community is now I hope it's gonna grow like massive. So
huge.
I'm gonna watch it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're going to be watching it. That'll be me watching it and you watching it. So I've definitely got 2 views. I'm happy with that. Thank you so much. You definitely made me happy, and I know I can speak on behalf of the community that you've made a lot of people happy today. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that was listening today, and we'll see you again next time for the next Sunday Social with another very special guest. Thank you, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.